65% of India's population is under the age of 35. This demographic scale represents the country's greatest potential strength, but it is currently threatened by a widespread and growing crisis of depression. Economists call this the demographic dividend. The theory is that this massive influx of young workers will drive India to become a global economic superpower in the coming decades. Many of these young adults carry out their daily routines while experiencing severe internal psychological distress. They navigate high-pressure environments while masking symptoms of chronic anxiety and depression. These widespread patterns of individual suffering indicate a systemic crisis that challenges India's future stability. Data from the World Health Organization identifies depression as the leading cause of disability worldwide. In India, joint reports from the WHO and UNICEF indicate that approximately 1 in 7 people is affected by a mental health condition. Data from the National Crime Records Bureau shows the severity of this trend, recording a 65% increase in student suicide rates in recent years. Cultural stigma often frames mental health struggles as a personal choice or a sign of weakness. This pressure forces millions to suffer without seeking care, making official statistics a likely undercount of the true scale. The data suggests that a significant portion of a generation is being lost to an invisible epidemic. This pressure begins in the classroom. India's education system relies heavily on a rank-based model, where a student's entire value is often reduced to their performance on a single exam. Students spend years in rigorous coaching for high-stakes exams like the JEE, NEET, or UPSC. These tests determine their career path, placing an immense physical and mental burden on them for years at a time. The constant fear of failure triggers emotional instability and mood swings. Many students believe that an unsuccessful exam result effectively ends their prospects for a stable life. The educational environment has shifted from a place of intellectual growth to a high-stress arena for psychological survival. Graduation brings little relief. Millions of degree holders now enter a labor market where the number of stable, high-paying jobs is far lower than the number of qualified candidates. Many young professionals find themselves in temporary roles with low wages and high work pressure. This constant job insecurity erodes self-confidence and prevents long-term life planning. These professional struggles are further compounded by rapid urbanization and rising inflation. The soaring cost of living in major cities keeps many young adults in a state of perpetual financial anxiety. The expected reward for academic effort is often out of reach, leaving many trapped in a cycle of exhaustion and financial panic. The rapid expansion of internet access over the last 2 decades has also altered the social expectations placed on the youth. Social media platforms encourage constant comparison. When young people view the curated, successful lives of others on their screens, it often leads to feelings of inadequacy and social isolation. Domestic life often reinforces these pressures. Many families demand perfection while dismissing symptoms of depression as a lack of willpower. Indian youth face failure in a competitive economy, perceived failure against digital standards, and a lack of emotional support at home. This is a national issue. A youth demographic struggling with depression leads to declining economic productivity and a weakened national workforce. Despite the rising need, India's psychiatric infrastructure remains insufficient. UNICEF reports confirm a severe shortage of trained mental health professionals, particularly in rural regions. Projections indicate that the gap between the number of patients and available care providers will widen. Without immediate intervention, the mental health care system will be unable to meet the demand by 2035. Neglecting the psychological health of 65% of the population compromises India's long-term economic stability and national growth. Addressing this requires integrating mental health education into schools, establishing counseling services in workplaces, and fostering emotional support within families. Seeking professional support is a vital step for survival in a high-pressure society. We can begin by breaking the silence. Share your perspective in the comments and subscribe to help bring more attention to this critical issue. A nation's strength depends on the psychological health and resilience of its youngest generation.